Hi everyone, Jim here. Welcome to my channel. Well, I've been watching a few booktubers the last few weeks. Jake from Pulp Mortem, Chris from Liminal Space, Virgil from Literally Books, and Jeff from Jeff's Cave of Cool Books, and I think Deb from Omnivorous Reader, and they all featured their DAW books that they have on their shelves. And watching Jeff's video, we got to talking in the comments, and it made me think that I should probably sort through my own shelves and find the DAW books that I have in my shelves. And initially I thought maybe I'd have a dozen, because I don't really go out of my way to collect them. They're just books that I've acquired over the years in collecting, and it turns out I have about 35 or 36 books, DAW books, and I might even have a few more on my shelf that I wasn't able to find, but I thought I would come on here and share them with you. I'm sure probably if you're into DAW books, you've seen them all before, but I thought I'd get into the whole spirit of the thing and show them to you. And I'm gonna list all the videos and the booktubers down below, so you can go check out their videos. They're a lot of fun. But let's start going through the DAW books that I have. I was actually pretty surprised that I had so many. So yeah, let's start with, I think this book is the only one that I actually bought brand new. I bought this for the Ken Kelly cover, and this is a Dray Prescot novel. Now, I know I have more of these around, but I wasn't able to find them. But this is number 25 in the Dray Prescot series, Legions of Antares. And again, it's a wonderful Ken Kelly cover. That's why I picked that one up. And as I said, that's probably the only one that I bought brand new. There might have been a Michael Moorcock I bought brand new too, but the rest I got at used bookstores and thrift stores. So the next, I'm going to do these three. Lin Carter, and this is By the Light of the Green Star. Now, this was a series, was kind of a John Carter knockoff, I do believe. And that's, is that a Roy Krenkel cover? Yeah, that's a Roy Krenkel cover on that one. And of course, if you're not familiar with DAWs, they all have interior artwork on the title page, which makes them that much more collectible. So now we have another Lin Carter, As the Green Star Rises, and that's Roy Krenkel again. And there's the interior artwork on that one. I won't show them all to you, but some of these are pretty awesome artwork. And finally, I have In the Green Star's Glow by Lin Carter. And this features Karn, the Savage of the Sky-High Trees. But he was also an Earthling. So, you know, Lin Carter, he was the ultimate fanboy, and he loved to copy Edgar Rice Burroughs and Robert E. Howard and Clark Ashton Smith, and they're not bad. They're not bad, but he was a better editor than he was a writer. But that's a very cool cover. I think is that a Michael Whalen cover? I do believe that's Michael Whalen. It should say in here. Michael Whalen cover. And here we have, I'm going to show these together. This is a series of books. I don't have them all, but I did do my best to collect all of these. And this is the adult fantasy series, initially edited by Lin Carter. And that's a Ken Barr cover. This was a series of fantasy short stories, and he edited the first few, and then another editor took over. But that's number one. A little beat up, but that's the first one I ever owned from that series. And I have number 3. That's a Josh Kirby cover. And there's an awesome dinosaur interior illustration. And here we have number 4 in the series. And that one, the cover is by Esteban Maroto. And here we have one with another Josh Kirby cover. Awesome cover. I mean, I love his artwork, and that's just a very cool drawing. And that was number 6 in the series. And then And then somebody else, I have number 8. I don't know really when he took over, but his name is Arthur W. Seha. And the books were never really quite the same after he took over. As I said, Lin Carter was a great editor. He was a fanboy. He loved his sword and sorcery. So there's a definite different vibe in the Lin Carter edited stories as there is to these ones here. But that's number 8. And then finally, I have number 9 with that awesome cover. And that's edited by Arthur Seha. Now we have a few from C.J. Cherryh. We have Hunter of Worlds. And we have Serpent's Reach. And these are just lovely covers. And C.J. Cherryh, for those of you who haven't read her, she's a great writer. Very enjoyable sci-fi / fantasy writer. The series that she's well known for is this series, The Gate of Ivral. And that's a Michael Whelan cover. Now, I do forget her name, the character's name. It's been a while since I've read these. But yeah, there's... Now, some of these, I do have DAWs without the yellow spines on them. Now, but I think the purpose of this whole thing was to show your yellow spine DAWs. But I do have others in this series that don't have the yellow spine. I mean, DAW later on, they just had the yellow logo and they didn't have the yellow spine anymore. This is the Fires of Azeroth, again with another lovely Michael Whelan cover. Just fantastic. I love these DAWs, you know, and I never, as I said, I never set out to collect DAW books, but you know, the DAW books, they did such a great job on them that I just naturally picked a whole bunch of them up. And this is Michael Moorcock, the Warlord of the Air. And then we have 2 more Michael Moorcocks, and these are Elric books. This is The Bane of the Black Sword, and that's a Michael Whelan cover. And then we have The Weird of the White Wolf. And anybody who hasn't read Elric by Michael Moorcock, you're missing out. These are incredible stories. Just a lovely series. They were, you know, he started to write them in kind of, you know, the editor asked him to create a Conan-like character, and he came up with Elric, which is very anti-Conan, but still the stories are just excellent. It's an excellent series, great series, and well recommended. And here we have a book by John Brunner, From This Day Forward. And we have a couple of Andre Nortons. You can't have a DAW book without Andre Norton. We've got Merlin's Mirror. That's a Jack Gauguin cover, I think, I do believe. And here we have a book of short stories, the Book of Andre Norton. Kind of not a good cover. I mean, you put all the artwork in that little circle, it kind of loses its effect. But it is cool artwork. I just would have liked to have seen it on the whole cover, not within that little circle. And here we have The Mine Net by Herbert W. Frank, and that's got a Kelly Frias cover. Here a book of short stories called Amazons, with stories by Andre Norton, C.J. Cherryh, Elizabeth Lynn, Joanna Russ, Tanith Lee, and many more, edited by Jessica Amanda Samonson. And there's a very awesome Michael Whelan pen and ink drawing inside. Lovely, lovely books. And here we have another lovely book with an awesome cover by Tanith Lee, with short stories, Red as Blood, Tales from the Sisters Grimmer. And that's just very cool cover. I love that. Happy to have that one. And the artwork inside is by the writer Tanith Lee. She did the drawings in this book, which is kind of cool. You know, me being an artist myself, I can admire and respect that. And here we have, this is called Iron Castle. This is a book by J.H. Rosny, and this was translated and rewritten by Philip Jose Farmer, and that's a Roy G. Krenkel cover. Now, these next few books, this one and the next two, are kind of entries into Philip Jose Farmer's Wald Newton universe, which is kind of fun. That's kind of a crossover universe where you have all these characters from literature that you kind of live in the same world because they've had crossovers. So it's a whole thing. If I remember, I'll post the link to the website down below. So here we have Haddon of H and Opar, and Opar is obviously Edgar Rice Burroughs' Opar from the Tarzan stories, and that's a Roy G. Krenkel cover. And this has artwork throughout. And here we have Flight to Opar, and again with Roy G. Krenkel artwork. I'm happy to have these. I mean, I tried to build a whole Wald Newton library, so, you know, and these are essential if you're going to do that. Here we have, these are no particular order whatsoever, but this is a Brian Stableford book, Rhapsody in Black, and I do believe that's Kelly Freas' cover. That's just a very cool cover. I admit I bought that one for the cover. The artwork is just incredible. And next we have Wedded Bronze by Manning Norville, and that's pretty incredible cover, very Conan-esque. And that is Odin the Half-God, Wedded Bronze. I should probably read that one of these days. And that cover is by Michael Whalen. That's a Michael Whalen cover, and he's just outstanding. And here we have, these two are very cool. There's still one edition of these I'm looking for with an introduction by John Jakes, but this is Mention My Name in Atlantis, which is kind of a Conan spoof. It features the character Konax the Chimerical, but, you know, written by John Jakes. And I don't have the edition with the introduction by John Jakes. I'm still looking for that one. There's the inside artwork, and here's a different copy of it. Mention My Name in Atlantis. And it's just a lot of fun. It's got the same artwork in there. But, yeah, the very faded spines on these, though, unfortunately. But those are very cool books. And here we have a book by Anson Dibble, Circle, Crescent, Star. And that looks like a Ken Kelly cover. Yeah, that's Ken Kelly did that cover. And that's a thicker one, longer story. Got a map, which is always cool having maps in the books. And we have a couple of John Norman novels. We have the 1975 Gore novel, Marauders of Gore. And that is the 9th book. And that cover was by Kelly Freas. That's a Kelly Freas cover. And I've got a few other Gore novels on my shelf, but these are the only two DAW Gore novels I have. This one and The Tribesmen of Gore. Now that's just an excellent cover. I do love that cover, and that is by, I should know, I checked this the other day, I've forgotten, that is by artist named Gino Diachil, or Diachil. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but that's the 1976 Gore novel. And I think they're still being written. They're still going, these Gore novels. There's tons of them out there. And here we have two by Marion Zimmer Bradley. I know there's issues with her, but, you know, still, here we go. This is Two to Conquer, a Darkover novel. And I have others without the yellow spines. This is The Forbidden Tower, a Darkover novel by Marion Zimmer Bradley. And with artwork on the inside. So those are my DAW books. I just thought I'd share them with everyone. it's a lot of fun doing this, so I thought I'd join in, and I'm gonna link everybody down below who's done the same, and you can go check out their videos. I can't give you a history of DAW books because I don't know that much about them. You'd be better off watching Jake's video or Chris's video. I think they know a lot more about the publisher than I do, so I'm not even going to attempt it. But yeah, go check them out, and I'll talk to you soon. You guys take care and keep reading.